Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us here on KREM 2 News First at 4. I'm Whitney Ward. We have a lot of news to get to tonight, so let's get started. That includes a wildfire that is now burning outside of Lewiston, Idaho. 6 members of the Patriot Front, which is a hate group, they appeared in court today. So there's a lot that we're talking about, but we want to start now as we look at our top stories that we are tracking right now. First off, one Spokane police officer died and another was injured after a golf cart accident in Bonner County over the weekend. 3 others from Spokane were also hurt, and according to Idaho State Police, that crash happened on West Lakeshore Road. We're told 5 people were in the golf cart when they lost control, and then the cart itself rolled over. The condition of the other passengers is still unknown, but it is now under investigation by Idaho State Police. Meanwhile, the Washington State Patrol is still looking for the suspected road rage shooter that killed one person on Friday night. So State Patrol says that it happened in eastbound lanes on I-90 near Thor. The victim of the shooting crashed going through a fence. This was near milepost 285. State Patrol says they're now looking for a white Chevy that looks similar to a Malibu. If you happen to be driving on I-90 near the Thor Freya exit around 9:30 on Friday night, you're asked to please contact the Washington State Patrol about what you may have seen. You can also call Crime Check and ask to be directed to Washington State Patrol. One person has died and another was hurt after a shooting in downtown Spokane on Saturday morning. Police say it happened around 8:30 in the morning on Saturday near House of Charity. One person died at the scene. Another person was shot and injured. Officers say that some type of fight led up to the shooting. They haven't made any arrests so far. Major Crimes, though, is continuing to investigate. We don't yet know the victim's identity. Spokane police, though, are also asking for anyone with information to please call Crime Check, and you can find that number on our website. Just go to krem.com. WSU has named a new acting police chief following misconduct allegations. The WSU Police Sergeant Don Daniels will now be serving as acting chief. The school is conducting a disciplinary investigation into allegations of employee misconduct within the department. WSU not yet sharing the names of who is under investigation. They say it is still ongoing, but the police chief and the vice president for public safety have both resigned. The school says they will release additional information once their investigation wraps up in the next few weeks. A Spokane teenager drowned at Corbin Park over the weekend. According to the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office, the 14-year-old boy was playing at the park near the Spokane River. That was around 9:30 p.m. on Saturday. Officers arrived on scene and were told that he hadn't been seen in over an hour. Deputies found some of his clothes near the water and started a water rescue mission to find him. Divers located him about 20 feet from shore in 10 feet of water. Detectives from the Sheriff's Office are now investigating. Evacuation orders have now been lifted from a wildfire burning near Lewiston. It's called the Express Fire. It started overnight in the hills north of Highway 95 near the Clearwater River Casino. It has since burned about 2,000 acres. And at one point, the Clearwater River Casino and the Express gas station right there were closed and evacuated. They are back open now. But we did talk to one woman who was forced to flee in the middle of the night with her 3 children. They said the flames were racing down the hillside in the strong winds and coming straight for their home.
What was your first indicator that something was wrong?
The wind, it was really bad, and we had our awning out and it like shook the trailer, and so he went out to see what was going on, and I was like, babe, it's burning, something's burning. And he's like, it's not us, so don't worry about it. And I'm like, no, something's burning. And then he went out and the whole back here over this way,
Oh yeah,
see right there.
that's close.
Oh yeah, they stopped it right there.
Now, fortunately, the family was able to go back to their home this morning. The Nez Perce tribe said there was no fire damage to the casino itself, although some older outbuildings on the property may have some damage. It's still unclear exactly how this fire started, but parts of it are still burning, though we're told it is now moving away from homes and property. But strong winds certainly played a role in spreading that fire this morning. We are seeing the first hints of fire season here across the inland Northwest. Things are getting very hot, and certainly the fuels on the ground are drying out quickly. So we want to send things over to our chief meteorologist, Jeremy Legoo. He's outside now as we take a look at the forecast for this week, and it seems like more heat is on the way.
Yeah, Whitney, it's one of those ones where we're set to dry out and warm up in the days to come. Today, a windy day, but a bit of a break from some of the heat. Right now, We sit in the 70s with wind out of the west-southwest at about 15 miles per hour, and believe it or not, that is calming down quite significantly from where we were earlier this morning, thanks to the passage of this frontal boundary. That moved through, brought some scattered showers and storms off to the north and in parts of Idaho, and then works its way out. That was responsible for some of the wind, but as it moves out, we're looking at a much drier, calmer weather pattern moving in. But because of that drier air, temperatures fall tonight. By tomorrow morning, we are down in the 50s. Parts of the inland northwest fall into the 40s. Deer Park likely dips into the 40s. Newport and Sandpoint close to it. It is going to be a very cool night across much of the inland northwest, but this is kind of our last bit of a break before the heat returns, and we're talking a major warm up in the days to come, and even next week we're looking at even warmer temperatures. I'll walk you through all of that coming up in the full forecast.
My goodness. All right, Jeremy, thank you. Well, you may remember back in June, Coeur d'Alene police arrested 31 men from the back of a U-Haul. Police say those men have ties to a hate group and were planning a potentially violent riot at a pride celebration. Well, today, 6 of those suspects entered their pleas in court. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley was in the courtroom and tells us what happened.
Today, 6 of the 31 men arrested in June for conspiracy to riot appeared in court to enter their plea over Zoom. Now, all 6 of those defendants pleaded not guilty. Now, according to the judge, the max penalty for this charge is 1 year in jail and or a $5,000 fine and or 2 years of probation. Now, we want to be clear, the judge presiding over these arraignment hearings today denied all media requests for cameras in the courtroom, which meant the media, we could only sit in the courtroom but could not record anything. Now, the next wave of suspects are expected to enter their pleas in August. Reporting from the Kootenai County Courthouse, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Well, that hate group's arrest in Coeur d'Alene was far from the region's first run-in with white supremacy. And when we come back after the break, we are taking an in-depth look at how North Idaho became a hotspot for hate group activity. We're back after a quick break.